Talk to me a little bit about the group, how they're progressing, how many athletes you got, how they're looking so far. I know it's really early on. You've been doing kind of your base training into a little bit of your mechanics, but what's been going on with that?
Yeah, I mean it's a bigger group this year. I think we're close to 25 now full time. So it's a good mix. Americans, some people from the Caribbean, a few Europeans. So it's a nice mix of Olympic caliber athletes, and as far as training and so forth goes, it's been a pretty good year to this point. We've got all our base work in and working, getting ready for the season to start, which they'll start doing some running probably end of March, beginning of April, and then all the way through World Champs in Doha, Qatar, at the beginning of October.
Nice. Obviously, you got your two big guns in Shawnee Miller and Noah Lyles, and then you got some of your veterans like Tyson Gay and Kellyanne Baptiste and Keston Bloodman. Who are some of the others that you've kind of added or kind of newcomers to the Pure Athletics group?
Without sitting here looking at a list, it's hard to get everybody's names in there. But
sure.
We have a nice mix of some older guys that are heading into the twilight of their career, and are girls, and then a real good mix of young ones that are starting to come up and go through. So it's we're a little heavy on the numbers this year, but it's one of those transition times to where you need to bring in a few young ones as the older ones are getting ready to move on with life a little bit, I guess is a good word for it. But it's hard to say, but you got people like Shakima Wembley, who was a USA champion last year. She's in that group that she's pretty good. And they're all pretty good, excuse me for that. But then you have Kendall Williams, who was third at USA's last year in the 100 meters. Jalen Bacon. You have a 2012 Olympic medalist in Warren Ware, Nathaniel Mitchell Blake from Great Britain. I mean, it's a lot of different ones. You still got Alonzo Edward, who's from Panama and won world medals in the past, and it's a good group.
Nice. Like we said, been in Clermont 10 years. Maybe talk a little bit about what makes Clermont, South Lake County, a little special for training. I've heard you kind of speak about how you can get to your travel stuff a little bit quicker. Just talk a little bit about that.
Well, I mean, we wanted to move to Central Florida just for the weather and so forth in the beginning, when I was looking to just do the pro group, and we came across the facility here, and it's kind of a combination of everything. You have the gym, you have the soccer fields, you have the pool, you have the hills, you have the track, you have the clay loop. I mean, it's just everything you can possibly need in pretty much one location. So it just worked out really well for us that we don't have to travel around to try to find different training sites or try to find different places to do things when we can do it all in one spot. And being close enough to the airport helps too when you're doing your international travels, and and then back to the weather. I mean, you don't have to go indoors to do much training. You have a couple days here and there, but for the most part you're outside and doing what you need to do.
Okay. And finally, maybe just speak a little bit about yourself. I know you grew up in Palatka, went on to Auburn, was a long jumper there. What kind of got you into coaching at the elite level? Maybe speak with us about that.
Yeah, it's kind of a long story to that one, but yeah, I am originally from Palatka. Graduated there, was a long jumper, and played football in high school, and then took a track scholarship to Auburn University. And got my undergrad and my master's both there, and then went on from there and coached at a junior college in Kansas for about 7 years, and then was at the University of Arkansas for 4, and then decided to just do the pro thing. But track and field wise, it's kind of, as you would say, in the blood. My dad's a very successful coach here in Central Florida, has been for a long time, won numerous state championships at Seminole High School, and then again when he was in Palatka as well. So it's just kind of something that, I don't know, I tell people all the time, if your dad's a mechanic, you learn how to work on a car. So this is just kind of the route that I ended up falling into, just to hang out with my dad. So
sure. Well, we're so glad to have you here in Clermont, Florida, based out of the National Training Center. again, you add a lot to the community. We're glad you're here, and thanks for joining us with the South Lake Tablet.
Yeah,
today.
sure. I love being here. Thank you very much.
Sure. For our two-part interview with the South Lake Tablet. Youngest USA guy to go under 10 in the 100, under 20 in the 200. Gainesville born, then moved up to Alexandria, Virginia. Now a Clermont homeowner. How long have you had your house, and tell us a little bit about that?
I've had the house since about October, so kind of just dealing with things I didn't even know. Like, we built it from the ground up, so I had to do all the designing, and that was pretty fun. Me and my brother got what are they called? 2 master bedrooms, which was actually kind of hard to find at first, but I'm really glad we got it.
Very good. How has training been going? One of the definitely one of the our Olympic hopefuls going into the the 2020 games. Talk a little bit about that. How training's been going?
Yeah, training's been going really well. A lot different from last year. Last year we're kind of just trying to get stronger as a whole, and now it's like I have the strength, so we get to do all the stuff you get to do when you finally get strong enough. So it's like once I couldn't do blocks the right way, so I had to wait till I get stronger. Now I'm strong enough, and I can do blocks in a better position and get faster.
Very good. And we talked to your brother this summer. I guess he is of the two. He is kind of the cook. He said. Talk a little bit about that. You guys being on your own, as far as doing chores or cooking, cleaning. Do you ever do any of the meal planning for that or anything like that?
Yeah, so there's 3 of us in the house. There's me and my brother, and then Matthew Hudson Smith who's also in our training group, and we all kind of split the chores up. At first we cycled the chores, so it would be like trash, cleaning and putting up the food, cleaning the kitchen, and then doing the dishes, and we used to switch, but then we figured out that some are better at the chores than others, so we kind of stuck to a permanent way. And then the cooking is kind of now cycled, so every day everybody somebody new cooks instead of how we used to do it when it was just me and Jasiah, so we both cooked together. Found it easier that way, and we just really got to make sure that the food is in the house when we cook it, because we go through a lot of meat.
Yeah, that's awesome. Just following your career thus far, obviously one of the most confident, in my opinion, sprinters on the track. I mean, that's obviously a very important attribute for a sprinter. Talk a little bit about that. When you get on the track, having a little bit of confidence, having a little bit of fun. 2 things that we definitely see from you on the track.
Yeah, I mean, I always say if you don't love what you do, don't do it. Find something else. And this is definitely what I love to do. So every time I go out on the track, it's something I love, so I get to show my expression. And it's really just me being me. I have something I love. I like to show it on the track. I got some type of new show I'm getting into. I wear socks that match it. Or I saw something that's funny, and I thought make people laugh, make people get into it more. I might do like a little dance at the end. Just me being me.
Very good. Still about 18 months out from those games. This isn't an Olympic year. What are some of your goals for this year, being kind of the lead-up year? I don't know, year and a half to the games, and tell us about that.
Yeah, Olympics aren't really in my mind right now. We got World Championships this year, which are kind of late in October. So that's like the main goal. The biggest goal right now is to come away with a gold medal in the 200. And if future so says it that I'm going to be in the relay or even try to double this year, we'll do that. But the really big focus is to make sure that I get a gold medal at the World Championships.
That's awesome. We will definitely be pulling for you. Your neighbors around Clermont, South Lake, and we appreciate you stopping by and having a word with us.
No problem.
Thank you so much.